Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscription. I greatly appreciate it. This is the daily forecast for Wednesday, September 9th. As you well know, if you've watched any of my other videos, this is not only set for that date, it is a message of the highest good for the greater collective. Therefore, whatever you're seeing it should be valid for you. So if you're seeing it on a date that's not September 9th, that's completely okay. You can still utilize it or hopefully apply it somewhere in your life. If you choose to do so, that is your responsibility. If nothing makes sense or it doesn't relate to anything in your life, that's completely fine. Nothing is wrong. You might just be working on something else. But let's get into the cards and see what is going on for Wednesday, September 9th. Now, this is considered what we consider our midweek point. On Sundays, underpinning energy weekly reading, we had that King of Swords energy. So there should be some decisiveness happening. Hopefully some decisions being made, clarity, authority, feeling hopefully in charge, certainly willing to live with the ramifications of our actions. There could be the potential for overthinking, but I don't necessarily see that as in a bad way, right? You might be mulling something over of great importance, giving it a lot of mental space. For some of you, it could be a significant air sign person, a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius that you're dealing with this week. So you have to take it and apply it where it fits in your life. But let's see. What is going on for today? Oh, shit. I had a feeling when I started talking about him while shuffling, I was like, you know what, I don't want to call him back out of the deck, but like, here he is. So he's reminding you guys, I think that really what he's reminding us today, especially showing up today when we're in the midweek point, is he is telling us that we have the authority. We get to choose, right? We get to make, how do I want to say this? Like, we get to choose where our mind focuses, where we place our attention, and that our attention is a value. Like, this is a king. Kings have riches. They rule, countries or kingdoms, right? They're not slouches by any means. And how we uphold ourselves is important. So when I think of this king, there's like that air of, I don't want to say it's not like aloof, but being above everything. And I mean that in a good way, like looking at things from a higher perspective, from a greater collective perspective, right? Kings don't necessarily, some kings certainly think only for themselves, but ideally a good king is going to think not only for themselves, but for the people of their kingdom, right? And so there might be some of you that are dealing with trying to get clear or make very clear, concise decisions about where it is you need to go, what it is you need to do, how it is you need to go about doing it. And you may have to take yourself into account. And of course you would come first, being the king, but then you all might have to take care of some others in the process of whatever it is that you're dealing with. Now, when we were looking at the Sunday reading, or when I'm thinking about the Sunday reading, there was definitely this focus on maybe working through our emotions around something, getting clear in our mind about it. That would be this king energy, and we're seeing this twice now. So it's definitely a reminder that we are in charge, We have that authority, we have the intellect, we have the prowess. Even if it's not a favorite decision amongst those around us, because that's some of it too. Sometimes kings have to make decisions that aren't necessarily appreciated by others, or maybe they don't see the bigger picture or understand that. But this king has to sort of stand firm and dedicate themselves to whatever it is that they see as being right or correct, and what's going to get them where they need to go, right? So we are seeing that. Kings also represent as swords, so we have swords upon swords, so it's a double air element as far as this card is concerned. Again, like I said earlier, while shuffling, some of you could be dealing with a very significant male. It doesn't have to be a male, but it could be a male of the air sign variety, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. They could figure prominently into your day today. I do feel that this is somebody, if we are dealing with somebody outside of ourselves, I don't know why, but when I look at this king, and this is sort of where I get this feeling of, you know, he has to make a decision that maybe not everybody's going to like. If we are dealing with somebody outside of ourselves that is this significant air sign, you know, I get a feeling that they're not budging. There's this idea that something about this king, as I look at him, he's trying to sit still, or not sit still, but like stay planted and grounded in the certainty of whatever his decision it is, even if it's not very popular. So if this applies to us individually, we're going to have to hold true to what we know to be true, right? If we're dealing with somebody outside of ourselves that we're trying to get to meet our, you know, understand our perspective, or if they're presenting a challenge or blocking our way, right? We may have to appease to their intellect. We may have to sort of outsmart them in a way. And we have the ability to, right? This King of Swords says that we have the ability to be intellectually sort of in charge, if that makes sense, right? Authoritative, you know, just like, what's the word that I'm looking for? Intelligent is another good word too, right? Staying like intelligent about our decisions, and committing to them. There's a commitment with the king that I sort of feel like there's no turning back kind of thing. And I don't think that this is a bad card. I think that this is about us trusting our thoughts, our minds, being mindful of what's important, right? You know, and focusing on that and making decisions around that, even if it's not decisions that people appreciate or understand. It's not about that at this time. It's about us being true to and clear in what we know to be true and acting from that place. All right, let's see what the Moonology card has to say. Hello, full moon in Aquarius. Talk about those air signs again. We've got this air energy. It says, show the world the real you. Okay, so Aquarius is a very expansive energy. We've gotten like all full moons and new moons. It's really interesting to me. Let me just look at this for a minute. This is a lot of air energy. I mean, we've got a King of Swords plus the full moon in Aquarius. The full moon is going to be about sort of, you know, larger than life. Full moons are exactly that. They're full, right? They're at capacity. They're kind of, you know, building upon themselves and growing bigger and bigger and bigger. That's sort of the concept that I get of full moon. A full moon also feels like abundance to me, right? Like an overflow of that energy. So when I think of this full moon in Aquarius, this could be about expansion. This could be about that energy of Aquarius. Aquarius is also very sociable, right? So this could be about connections, or the testing of those connections through the decisions that are made by this King of Swords. I don't know why I'm looking at this King of Swords and I'm getting this funny feeling that decisions that are being made may not be popular with those around us, but we have to sort of make them for our own, and this isn't a selfish thing. Like, I don't feel like it's a selfish energy. I just feel like this king feels like he does not want to move. Like, I feel like we're going to have to stand firm in what we know to be true. Part of it has to do with him being seated for me, and part of it has to do with this blue cloak that he's wearing. It speaks to this idea of holding true to our own truth, which was yesterday's grounding stone, actually. So it's kind of got that vibe to it too, where this king, and he has this sword crossing his chest, so he's sort of saying, like, no, this is my decision and I'm sticking to it, right? The show the world the real you might be showing these decisions to those around you, even though they maybe don't understand them, they're not appreciative of them, they maybe vocally don't support them in some way, shape, or form. But that doesn't matter to me, is kind of how I feel with this king energy. He's sort of in charge, and he has to be in charge, and that's just sort of the way it's going to be. All right, so let me get to the grounding stone, and then I will use the cards to really quick. Okay, the grounding stone is on marble, nice strong stone, and it's in joy. Whatever decisions you are making, I'm going to say, like, make sure that you're having fun with it. Make sure that it brings you joy. Make sure that it brings you, like, this authority or this air about this king, the responsibility that the king carries. Enjoy it. Don't take it for granted, right? And this showing the world the real you, this full moon in Aquarius card is about, like, owning every aspect of yourself, even if it's maybe not popular, right? Making sure that you enjoy that opportunity too. The fullness of this moon is like shining ourselves as brightly as we can, as we are. The water bearer Aquarius, she's pouring forth that water. We're pouring forth ourselves through maybe our decisions, through our truths from yesterday's grounding stone, through our energy from Sunday's grounding stone. There's a I want to say like it's almost like we're kind of, and also we're heading into that Two of Cups energy, right? By week's end. So to me, it's like we're getting truer and truer with ourselves and who we are and what we represent. Ideally, that's kind of the concept that I'm getting with these cards. So owning that and embracing that, no matter what anybody else has to say or how else it's perceived, is really going to be what potentially gives you the opportunity to really enjoy the experience as you move forward, right? And grounding in that, right? Make sure that you're having fun, right? Don't be creating more misery. Make a conscious choice, like this king would, to step away from any sort of misery or upset, self-doubt, that sort of stuff. Don't let that like creep in. It's not worth it, kind of thing, is the feeling that I get. All right, so let's look at what does the King of Swords have to say. A powerful man with a quick temper, he is no fool and should be handled with care. A daring, impressive, effective leader, if a little harsh. A man of influence and long reach, tenacity, passion and conviction, and authority, commanding presence, impact, bravery, and ambition. That might be kind of that powerful leader, blah, 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 with maybe a little bit harsh. That might be why I'm feeling like I get this sense from this card that he is holding tight to what he knows to be true. So we may have to like sort of dedicate ourselves to that and really push forward in that, but I don't think that that's a bad thing. All right, so show the world the real you. This card brings the message from the cosmos that you need to detach a little from whatever situation you're asking about. Someone might be keeping you at arm's length now, but it's no bad thing. It's important for you to allow life to unfold and progress, even if change seems like a frightening prospect. If you've been holding yourself back from showing the world the real you, this card reminds you that your unique characteristics are what make you special. In a relationship, you are being too aloof or detached. Go ahead and be yourself in whatever is coming up for you. Attune to the moon, be aware of your feelings, but also be prepared to move on. Additional meanings for this card. Don't lose the beauty and romance of life. You are too much in your head. Get into your heart. A friend needs you, be there for them. A situation is going to take a very unexpected turn. The teaching. Every full moon is a time to release and let go, but the addition of Aquarius energy to the mix triples that message. Aquarius is the opposite of clingy and pulling. This card at any time suggests either you need to let go or someone is thinking they are the ones who need to let go, perhaps of you. What needs to go? What is the right thing to do? Whatever happens next could be highly unconventional or unexpected. That letting go aspect of this card might be the decision that this king is making, right? We might be dealing with the idea of sort of looking at some of those things, where is it that we need to, if this moon has reached its full term and is now full, maybe a situation has come to an end and it's time to sort of dismantle it or take it apart, and that might be what the king is trying to stand clear in, and that could be for some of you also. Whatever it is, I feel like the authority of the king is going to lead you in the correct direction. You just might have to hold true. It might be a little bit of a struggle there to getting true to yourself, but remember to enjoy the entire process. This is all about expansion and trusting oneself. All right, there you go. That is your forecast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Thank you. Please hit like, share, comment, subscribe, do whatever, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.